The gates to Frozen Flame Early Access have opened, and we can finally start exploring the Cradle of Keepers and all the mysteries that lie beyond. Floor placement? The stone workbench, you ask? I got you covered. Hey, what's good guys? It's your man 4am again, back with a new guide in which I will explain everything you need to know about the base building. From floors, decay, repair cost and support, this guide will cover both basics and advanced building tips, so you can settle down the right way in Arcana. So let's get right to it. Alright, so let's begin with the basic building, which everyone is gonna need from the beginning of the game. So to bring up the building menu, you're gonna press B by default. Double check your key bindings in the menu. This right here will give you access to basic, wooden and stone construction. The latter is a tool which you can use to both repair and destroy items, if you decide to go with something else. Anyways, this time we're gonna go with basic, for which you're gonna need sticks. These can be found all over the place, both on the ground, where you see them sparkling, as well as where you chop down trees. For the roof, you're also going to need fiber, which you can find from plants, which look exactly like this. Definitely keep your eyes open, as you will find plenty of fiber all over the Cradle of Keepers. If you want to place a workbench, a makeshift floor will suffice, but you can also go with a makeshift foundation to make your base a little bit bigger. I definitely recommend you to not spend too many resources on the first base, as you will probably progress to the second tier of construction very quickly, which we're going to talk about in a second. So to place your makeshift floor, you're going to search for an area where it's green, and with the middle mouse wheel you can basically rotate it. But once you find a suitable place, you're just going to press left click and you can place different elements next to each other to make the base a little bit bigger. Right now we've got a foundation of 3x2, and this will be plenty for a workbench. So right now we can craft this one and place it exactly in the middle. If we walk closer to it, you can see that it's losing durability as it's currently exposed to the harsh environment. So what we're gonna have to do is protect this one from durability loss. This can be done by placing a roof over it. So we're gonna have to start off with a makeshift wall, which we're gonna place around it. To finish it up, I'm gonna use a gable right here to make it look a little bit better. Then, last but not least, we're gonna place a makeshift roof low, as well as the makeshift floor as ceiling, so the place will be protected from the durability loss. Right now, if you want to repair this thing, you can always go to the repair tool exactly right here, which is gonna cost a little bit of the resources which are required to otherwise craft it entirely. So right now we're gonna left click it, and there you have it, a repaired workbench, which should no longer lose durability. If you want to store items in your base, I recommend you to make a small storage crate. This one can be both accessed and packed, as well as most other items which you place in your base if you just press and hold the corresponding keybind. This means it will go back to your backpack and you can always place it back later. This will make moving around items a lot easier and also prevent durability loss if it's not yet protected from the environment. What I think is pretty nice is that if you press and hold the access key, you can basically change the permissions for who is allowed to open up the chest. You can choose owner only or your friends, or maybe you want to gift items to newcomers on the server, so you can set the permissions to everyone. If you place down a straw bed, it will allow you to restore your HP a little bit faster. I don't think this one is very necessary, but what is very important for you is to place a planter, as this one allows you to grow magical plants, which are required for the manufacture of advanced resources. This one doesn't take up much space either, but you won't be able to pack it up. It's pretty cheap to craft though, and it will give you access to the Flame Essence, Solid Essence, Astral Essence, and Crystal Essence. And yeah, you guessed it, these are required for both the teleport pad as well as the altar, so you'll be able to change your talents, unlock new abilities in your own base, and also use the teleportal to quick travel to other locations. Southwest from the portal hub, you will find a pretty nice NPC right here called Dora. She will give you access to even more components which you can use to decorate your base. The target doesn't come with many functionalities, but it's pretty nice decoration for your base, while the hovel is something which can be useful to sleep and restore energy, but it's also pretty heavy to take around with you. Then we also have the light fixture, which are basically the torches to light up your base in the dark, but these can also be crafted a little bit later on in the game, so make sure to save up all your runestones for the woven backpack early game, as this one is gonna come in very handy. I also placed a little storage area in front of her, which will never lose durability because of its efficient placement of the makeshift walls. This one can come in pretty handy if I'm carrying too much and want to temporarily store items, or as a letterbox to share items with other people. Now, let's move on to the advanced building, for which you're gonna have to chop down many trees, so better get those axes ready. Once you've made a little bit of progression in the game, you will get to the Broken Valley, spawn on a little island exactly right here. Right in front of you, you will find Hornhead, who will give you a series of quests which you're gonna have to complete to get ready for these lands. One of them will be to place a stone workbench, which I thought was pretty complicated as I didn't have the blueprint. Don't worry lads, I'm gonna ease your pain, as you simply have to search for all the ingredients which are necessary for this craft. The one which he talks about every time is the Nibbler leather, which can be obtained from the Nibblers, which you can find on these small islands right here. It is pretty easy to reach them if you have the sky jump ability, which I talked about in my beginner guide. I recommend you to use a bow to take out the Nibblers, as it will make it pretty easy to take them down. And make sure to also stay on these lands for a bit, as there will be 3 spawns in total. But another way to get them in pretty easily is to simply take out your tools and make a makeshift floor. Just build yourself a bridge to the other side and that will pretty much do the job. Anyways, the first item which he asks you to craft is an artisan table. For that you're gonna need iron ore. The first iron ore will be for free. He will give it to you, but you can trade with him to get your hands on even more of them. I strongly advise against this, as you will be able to find this material all over the Broken Valley. But if you want to place the artisan table, you're going to need a floor. So once again, we're going to place a makeshift floor. For this building tutorial, I recommend you to go with a small base once again, then place down the artisan table, and from here, you'll be able to access even more buildings. One of them is the sawmill, which we're going to need next. Since I already packed it from my base, I can just take it out of my inventory and place it exactly right here and start making planks by putting logs on this workbench. This is the part where you're gonna have to chop down many trees, as you're gonna need a lot of those planks for the next construction type. If you're done with your gear, you can always pack it up, and the next item in line would be the stone workbench. So right now, with 6 stones, 2 ancient bones and 1 plank, we can place this bad boy, and there you have it. Right now you will have access to all the bone tools, weapons and armor in the game, from the axe to the bone armor as well as the bone bow, which is my hands down favorite weapon in the game. With a bone pickaxe, it will be no problem to break iron nodes, get your hands on iron ore in no time, and you can find plenty of them on this very first starting island. Wooden doors require 5 planks and 1 iron ore, while for the shutters or windows you're gonna need nibbler leather, and all the rest basically only needs the planks. Once you've unlocked the flight mode, you can reach the main island of the Broken Valley, where you will also find Bart, which you can interact with to get your hands on even more blueprints for base building. With a wooden sign, you can welcome people at your base, while with the spikes, it's gonna be easier to keep them away. Then we also have the reinforced chest, which allows you to store even more items in your base, and also the jumping platform, so you can reach higher floors without a problem. Building with planks is pretty similar to the makeshift floors, but this will only cost you a lot more of the resources. What you can do is make those foundations and start slabbing walls around them, but what's very important to know is that you also have to support these buildings. So say I place a staircase exactly right here. I would just want to keep going and get as high as possible. At a certain point it will say stability requirement isn't met, so that means you're gonna have to support your building with beams, and these can be accessed right here. They're called wooden posts, and you can place them exactly like so, and that will basically make the construction a little bit stronger. I'm gonna destroy everything right here, as it was just for showcase purposes, but it's very important to know that only half of the resources you used will be refunded after destruction. Anyways, this is what my current base looks like. Nothing too fancy, but right here I have a door, which I only have access to, so people can't just walk in here, and inside I basically have everything I need, from a nice dining table to all the different workbenches I need to craft my own gear, as well as repair them, an altar to reset my talent points, as well as a cooking station with a bonfire, a planter, and also a cauldron to brew my very own potions. I also have some decoration here and there, for example the target dummy on top, but the windows are pretty nice to get some light inside. So that, ladies and gentlemen, is pretty much everything you need to know about base building. If you found this video helpful, definitely make sure to hit that like button as it helps out the channel. If you have any questions or suggestions for future videos, don't hesitate to leave them in the comments down below. Right now though, it's 4 AM out. I want to wish you an awesome day. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.